Welcome back. Hope you're having a good morning. Global Q is in a bit of a dizzy, and that's why the Gift Nifty is suggesting we pull back closer on 50 points. But plenty of stocks will be moving around. To help us out with analysis, we have Deven Choksey, director at KRChoksey Group, who joins us on the show. Hi, Deven. Good morning. I wanted your view on Vedanta. You know, Vedanta Resources has been downgraded by Moody's. It's not the Vedanta Limited stock, but obviously that spells interesting times for Vedanta Limited, and that's been the biggest underperforming metal stock. How would you approach it at around 225 rupees? You know, at current valuations, there is support. The problem is the promoter entity. Your take.
Yeah, Nigel, good morning. Certainly, I think you are absolutely spot on. The market is lacking the confidence in the promoter entity. Maybe not as much of weakness is being seen in exactly those businesses which the company is running, Indian company, listed company is running. Each of the verticals, be it oil and gas vertical, be it metals, I think mining, aluminium, each of these verticals, I think, are reasonably, I think, performing well. And in a given situation, when we see the bullish outlook on the commodities, particularly at that point of time, I think the fundamentals of this company suggest that I think the valuation-wise, the stock is probably downside risk is very minimal at this point of time. However, as I think the concern is the street is worried about what is happening with the parent company, Vedanta Resources, and any such kind of situation in which they are required to pay off their debt in that part of the world. Maybe I think that may force them to book some amount of the assets in the other parts, which is including the Indian listed company. So that could be one of the overhang, and that is the reason for which I think the stock is underperforming. Whether to buy at this point of time, as I said, fundamentals are remaining strong. The downside risk on fundamental metrics, I think, are limited. This overhang goes away, the stock should be performing. That is
Deven, hi, good morning. Thanks for joining in. There is a very interesting upgrade that has come in. Not upgrade, actually. Morgan Stanley has raised their target price on all IT companies. They're quite bullish, especially on, names like Cyient, Tata Elxsi, Tech Mahindra, etc. And they're saying that there's a double-digit revenue growth coming in for the sector in FY25. Is this a time to be loading up on IT stocks?
Yes, Sonia, good morning. And I think this confirms our view, which we have always put across in the last 6 months, that probably it's basically a good time to buy into some of the IT companies because the fundamental fabric of these companies remains absolutely very convincing and strong. On the one side, the global market needs the Indian IT companies, the service companies, largely because of the fact that there is a higher demand for computing power, which is required in each and every other application. And Indian IT companies are very well positioned. The only situation of challenge was that in last 2-3 quarters, many of the global companies haven't been releasing the orders. And as a result of which, I think the order intake for the companies have been relatively slow. In my viewpoint, I think as we had viewed this particular subject earlier too, the second half of the financial year for Indian IT companies, we are going to be seeing a reasonably higher amount of intake of new orders coming in. And that too after long duration, larger size, long duration orders coming in. And that is where probably I think you could see the relative amount of re-rating for these companies. The mid-size IT companies, particularly those who are into engineering and R&D along with, they will probably I think relatively do better because they operate out of that niche area of activity. And at the same time, I think the rate of growth in the business for them remains higher along with the margin. So likes of Cyient, which is available at a valuation which is close to around 20 times price earning. And also I think likes of LTTS, LTIM. These are some of the companies which remain relatively more stronger proposition from investment perspective in the mid-tier IT sector.
Okay, fair enough. Just a quick word, Deven. Just one more sort of stock, if you want to comment. Voltamp, if you have any coverage, there was that block which happened. Stock was down about 5.5% odd. Any thoughts? I don't know if you have coverage here.
No, Prashant. Sorry, we don't have coverage, so we'll refrain from putting any views right now.
Okay.